Okay, when you pollinate a squash, you need to find the male and female flowers. This is what a female flower looks like. You can see that there's, the middle of it is kind of got multiple parts to it. You can see there's a little bee down in there. I like to do this early in the morning when the blossoms are open. And it seems like there's bees that hang out in there early in the morning too. That's the only female flower I've got on this particular plant right now. This is a male flower. You can see it's just got a single little thing coming out of the middle. And you can see, I'm not sure if you can see that, but you can see there's a little powder on the bottom, kind of the lower edge of that opening. That is the pollen. So if you look at that bee really closely, you can see that there's pollen getting on his legs. So if he goes over to that female flower, then he's essentially pollinated it for us. But what you can do a lot of times, like on this plant for example, you can see these little baby squash, their blossoms are closed. Sometimes even when they grow a little baby squash like that, if they don't get fully pollinated, then they won't grow into a full-size squash. You can see those flowers are closed, all these males are open. Every one of these open flowers is male except for that one female. And it seems like the plants would coordinate better on when they want to have all their flowers open, but it seems like sometimes they don't, and so I like to hand pollinate because my garden's small enough that I just want to make sure what I did grow gets pollinated and produces the most fruit possible. So I kind of avoid the bees, but since this doesn't have one, you can actually pull this off. And if I can do this one-handed, I can actually open that up so that you expose the, I think it's called the pestle, and then you just stick that in there and rub it on that part of the female flower, and that's really all you do. You're just getting pollen from the male into the female, and that's it. Another interesting thing you can do is take out this middle part, and you can dip these blossoms in flour and egg wash and kind of pan fry them, and they're super delicious. I'm going to show you really quick on my pumpkin. I've got tons of male flowers here, and right now I have 0 female flowers. And for some reason my pumpkins really seem to need hand pollination. And on a pumpkin it's easy to tell which are the females because they have a little, I don't know, sort of like a little baby, a little womb, or however you want to think of it as a female. When those blossoms open up, they look a lot like the squash plant that we just looked at. But right now I'm just waiting. Like this blossom will open up probably in 2 or 3 days so that I can use one of these males to pollinate it. And right now I've only got 3 pollinated pumpkins that have actually started to grow like this. So I'm hoping to get, 6 or 7 from this big plant. And that's all there is to hand pollinating squash and pumpkin.